The three family members accused of killing a 10-year-old boy in Bangor earlier this year have each been indicted for depraved indifference murder. The boy's parents, 33-year-old Joshua Smith and 35-year-old Jem Bean, and the child's paternal grandmother, 56-year-old Misty LaTourette, are accused of killing 10-year-old Braxton Smith in February. Court documents reveal the boy was taken to the emergency room on the morning of February 18th by Bean and LaTourette. He was not breathing and did not have a pulse when he arrived. They also say he was malnourished and underweight with bruises on his face and body. It's reported he weighed 48 pounds when he was brought in. He died later that night. According to the court documents, LaTourette said the boy sought attention and was defiant and suggested his parents withhold food as a means of punishment. Police say they recovered zip ties from their B Street home. LaTourette confirmed she and Smith, quote, Gibbs slaps Braxton. Smith, Bean, and LaTourette are being held at Penobscot County Jail.